Okay, let's hear all of that. Karthik, did you lose your password? Karthik, did you take a break? Okay, actually, in fact, I was taking a break, but I mean, I wouldn't say it was as much of a break as it was kind of a writer's, podcaster's block, maybe. There was a lot of things. I mean, of course, it's been what, 9 months, close to 10 months almost. I think the last episode, not I think, I just saw the information up on my screen. The last episode was on 27th February, and coincidentally, it's 27th December, exactly 10 months. Now, why the long absence? Okay, how do I explain this? I was lazy, I was not planning my content properly, I just didn't have content. And that makes you question, why now? Okay, I don't actually have an answer to that. I just thought of doing it, so I did it. And yeah, I was surprised by the lukewarm reception to the podcast. In fact, a couple of people asked me why I had not been doing any audios, and I was pretty much surprised, pleasantly surprised by that, because as a creator who's starting out, I definitely did not expect any kind of anticipation towards my content. And to think that there is someone, or there are people out there who want to listen to this, is genuinely heartwarming. And I don't know what I'll be grateful for this year. There are a lot of things I should be grateful for, ideally, but that's something I would really carry with me, the kind of reception I got to this. And I am really grateful, guys. So thank you so much for being such an integral part of this podcast. When I started this off, I did not, do it for the views. I totally did it for the views. But I was just happy that I got to receive this kind of, you know, an ovation, I would say. Ovation, standing ovation, seated ovation, more like silent ovation. And I am truly grateful. So, enough of the introduction, Karthik. Let's just get on to the topic, because I can only listen to you for 10 minutes. Sure, that brings us to our topic. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. The sound of paper is literally, that. No, that's not what I mean. It's kind of a play, I would say. It's kind of a. I don't know, is a metaphor a right word? I'm not sure. You are more than welcome to correct me. That way I'll get more engagement. Thank you. And that, I just mean to say that how books speak to you, how much knowledge they can impart. And I know it's kind of a boring topic, because we are all engrossed in our exams, and that's, I think, most of the population takes up reading or books or something only in terms of exams. And you have various kinds of exams and whatnot. You have these schools, colleges, universities, entrance exams, and other kinds of tests you came up. I mean, you come up on a day-to-day basis, or whatever frequency that is. But I want to specifically focus on books as a kind of medium for knowledge. And it's the ancient knowledge. I mean, okay, not not to bore you guys too much, but uh it is something I didn't know that I loved until very recently. I mean, sure, I did make a very expensive purchase for that. I bought an e-reader. Not sure how many of you have heard about it, but it's just like, this Kindle. I'm sure you would have heard of Kindle. So that I bought one of those for almost 20,000, which is a pretty big hole in my wallet. And as Thanos said, a small price to pay for salvation. Sure, he said that. And I recently figured out that, okay, that was a pretty great purchase. Pretty great purchase it was, because it helped me rediscover what I thought I had lost. And the fascination for books, I mean, if you think about it, it's irony. It is like, I would say it is flattery which is clothed in irony, because I give my appreciation for books, yet I do not have the physical, means to access books. I totally get that. That is a very valid point. But hear me out. Books is not just physical books. Books is any kind of medium that gives you knowledge. And I stand by the knowledge part, although I don't resonate with the physical books. I'm sure I totally understand the people who, give their love towards these kind of physical thing. The feel, the smell, walking into a library, and the silence speaks to you louder than any other sound can. I totally understand that the kind of vibe, the kind of respect they have for physical books, but I just feel it would be more simpler for me if I had a library in my hands, the power of the sun in the palm of my hands, like that kind of a situation. And I just realized that once you take exam out of the equation of books, that becomes so much more better. Books are amazing once you realize you don't have to write an exam based on what you read. You read for the fun of it, for the joy of it, and it is in fact pretty much amazing. And it my topic wasn't just limited to the books, or I would say it's more of a feeling. It's more of a feeling that you used to do something. You used to do something, whatever it is. You used to do something which was conditional, or I would say you did it because you had to do it. And now, when you revisit that and you do it out of love, or out of, purely seeing it as a pastime or a hobby, I would say, and then you would find it better. You would find it objectively better that you can engross yourself in it. You can make it a fun part of your day. I mean, I'm sure most of us are or in fact all of us spend a lot of our time doing something that we need to do, not because we like it, but because we have to do it. And definitely we can find a little time to do something that we always wanted to do. And in my case, reading books, I didn't know I loved it so much until I bought this. I don't know what made me buy it. I realized, okay, I need to get one of those and start reading again. And I finished a novel within 5 days, and I didn't realize how much I loved reading books. I mean, the way the things are described, the way, I mean, okay, just to give you a brief on what I read this novel called Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, and this is something I've already read in the past. I think it's about 8 to 9 years since I've read the book. And here is the thing: I watched the movie too after reading the book, and then I realized books are not bound by budget. I mean, the words have no limit. You can write whatever you want to. I mean, there is zero difference between, I don't know, a plastic cup and a steel cup. Written in a book, I mean, obviously, not the movies. And movies carry the visual media, the visual way of, uh, I would say, absorbing media, or, that is definitely more attractive. That is more appealing. But that's not necessarily that enticing, because of how much can you do with books, like how much can you do with words. This whole podcast is reliant on words, although there is a significant component of me having to convey it in a manner that you would feel it as appealing. I am just mixing words. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking a bunch of words, I'm stringing it together in a way that you would like. And that's exactly what books are for. I don't know, no one is paying me to do these reviews. I'm just advocating my love for something that I had lost, in hopes that you would also rediscover something you loved. And I would definitely encourage you to do it, no matter how small it is, no matter how feeble it is. I would definitely encourage you to do that. So, yeah, that's a quick excerpt on my love for books and how I've rediscovered it. It was pretty refreshing, and I didn't know how much I'd missed doing this podcast until I actually did this episode. And this was more of a, hey, I'm still alive and I'm still doing podcasts kind of a podcast. And as to the future of the podcast, I would leave that as an uncertain thing, because I just found something that I love and I wanted to share it with you guys, but I don't know how much more I have it in me, and that would disappoint the 4 people listening to this. I totally understand, but I would like to keep doing this more. I honestly love talking, and the lesser people I have to talk, the less people I have to talk. Wow, just reducing superlatives. And yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is that if I don't have people to talk, this is my only mode of interacting, because I speak to myself a lot, and I guess documenting that is the best way of knowing what I do on a day-to-day basis. Privacy much. But yeah, I do really enjoy doing these things, and if I get an opportunity, I would definitely love to do more, and I would try to be more consistent, because I see the love that I'm getting from you, and I am really happy. I'm really happy for what it's worth. So, hey, I realized I didn't do the intro. Welcome, no, it's too late for that. And I would just say, happy holidays. I hope you had a great year. I don't know about that, but I definitely know you'll have a great, amazing year up ahead. Happy New Year to all of you, and keep listening. See you.